Welcome back to another episode of Jamie and Julia. I'm Jamie, and with me as always is Julia, child.
Oh! Bon appetit.
Let's run up the tally here. If we do a tally of where I'm at right now, you can see here up on the screen all the recipes I've made so far. If you're new here, I'm trying to, learn how to get better at cooking. And I'm following along to this cookbook, Mastering the Art of French Cooking, Volume 1 from Julia Child. And I open the book up and I pick recipes and I make them. And I don't know what I'm getting into. I've never made these things before. So we are making two quiches today. Quiche Lorraine, which is like the most famous French quiche there is. When you think of Julia Child and quiches, that's the one you think of. It's like cream and bacon. Like there's a whole bunch of different quiches here, but I mean, if you just go to the next page, Quiche Roquefort, which is like a blue cheese quiche. Roquefort cheese, it's just something I just figured out what it was the other day when I went to go buy it. A quiche is a mixture of cream and bacon, such as the Quiche Lorraine, or cheese and milk, or tomatoes and onions, or crab, or anything else which is combined with eggs, poured into a pastry shell and baked in the oven until puffs and browns. Now what these two quiches have in common is, well, they need like a pastry crust underneath. Remember, it's like an open-faced pie. Short crust pastry, pâte brisée. So at some point last year, I was really focused on my pie crust game and trying to figure out how to make flaky pie crusts. I think I figured it out. I think I got a good handle on it. I'm not too concerned, but if you're a first timer trying to make pie crust, it does take some time to just kind of get your hands in there and figure it out. A good French pastry crust is tender, crunchy, and buttery. This is all about Julia Child's recipe today, so I don't want to stray too far away from what she's detailed in this book, which is quite a bit. You'll need a big bowl, 6 ounces of cold butter, cubed, 2 ounces of chilled vegetable shortening in the bowl. It needs to be cold butter. This isn't gonna work if it's warm. 10 ounces of flour, big pinch of sugar, a big pinch times 2 because I'm making 2. Teaspoon of salt, maybe a bit more sugar, another pinch. Rub the flour and the fat together rapidly between the tips of your fingers until the fat is broken into pieces the size of oatmeal flakes. There's too much heat in the hands, so you just gotta kind of use the tips. My tip when it comes to flaky pastry dough is work all this up into a certain point and then call it early. Stop it before you think that you're actually done, because you were probably done earlier than you think. Add the cold chilled water, 4 tablespoons, and blend quickly with one hand, fingers held together, cupped as you rapidly gather the dough together into a mass. It should just hold together and be pliable, but not damp and sticky. Lightly flour your work surface, boom. With the heels of one hand, not the palm, which is too warm, rapidly press the pastry by the 2 spoonful bits down on the board. What? Quick smear of about 6 inches? I don't know what that means. Briefly knead it. See how it's kind of like, you can tell it's going to be flaky and crumbly just the way you look at it. It's like the anti-pizza dough. In the fridge for 2 hours. Or the freezer for 1 hour. So I picked up these new pans. These are quiche tart pans. So yeah, you better get your money's worth, Jamie. It's always kind of a drag having to buy new kitchen things every time you want to make something new. I want to get it right today. I mean, I could have used this pie dish here, but it doesn't have a. So I got these with the bottomless. So you serve your quiche like so, and this goes out the window. And also they got these ridges around them, right? So that the quiche is gonna look very pretty. Yeah, that's that. Okay, enough about the pan. I need to blind bake these pies. Okay, how hot should the oven be, please? The oven should be at what?
400 degrees Fahrenheit is 204.4 degrees Celsius.
So I gotta move relatively fast once I take that dough out of the fridge. So I'm gonna turn on my oven now, just like 10 minutes before I take it out, so I can just boom, 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 boom. First I just need to cut this in half. Ow! Oven's on. I'm gonna lightly flour my surface. This dough always needs to be cool. So if I'm not using one, I'm gonna put one in the fridge, like this. Okay, that can hang out in the fridge while I roll out the first one. So roll out the dough as quickly as possible so that it will not soften and become too difficult to handle. Lightly flour the top of the dough. place rolling pin across the center and roll pin back and forth. Well, yeah. Oh, I think she does something like this first. Start from the center and work out, please. With a firm, even stroke, always roll away from you. Lift dough and turn at slight angle. Continue lifting and turning as necessary. Roll into a circle, 1/8 inch thick. That should fit. Okay. They always do something like, put it on your rolling. In you go. In you go. Okay, she has this cool trick. Take a rolling pin. Obviously it's too big, right? So I'm gonna take the rolling pin and do this. And that comes off. Whoa. Work fast, work fast, work fast, work fast. Push it against the edge of this pie dish. She says if there's any like holes or anything, you can do a quick patch job with the leftovers. So I'm gonna get this into the fridge and I'm gonna do up that other dough ball. It's hammer time. Center out. You lift it, rotate. Poke the bottom with like a 4 half-inch intervals. Keep the sides of the pastry shelf from collapsing and the bottom from puffing up. Weigh it with a handful of dry beans. Some sort of... I need pie weight. Pie weight. I need a pie weight. There's got to be something that I can use in here. Is quinoa heavy enough? What is something we never use? Tin foil, okay, like so. I have pumpkin seeds, left over from a cake I made last year. And then you're gonna have some roasted pumpkin seeds. Okay, probably use some over here. Bake on the middle shelf of a preheated oven. So I need these to be partially cooked. Set a timer for 8 minutes.
Your timer is set.
After 8 minutes, remove the pie weights, prick the bottoms again with the fork, and then return to the oven for 2 to 3 minutes. Careful, careful. I know you're not supposed to take these rings off until you're done the quiches, like entirely, but I got a bit of a problem here. Look at the crust. Look how much it's shrunk. There's no edge to this pastry shell. Maybe the pie weight wasn't heavy enough. My finger is bigger than it. I wouldn't be able to put any filling into this. And it's a shame because this is the most perfect crust. Like, it's flaky as hell and it looks delicious. This is where my brain is right now. If you want to know where my brain is, let me bring you up to speed. I made 2 batches of my pastry dough. This was my first try, and I thought that I had just worked in the butter way too much into this dough, so I redid it without ever telling you. I just kept it in the fridge just in case this very situation came to be. We're gonna try this again. The lesson is that the dough retracts, right? So these need to be very high edges. Fork it. This is my new pie weight. Where there's a little space, I'll add the pumpkin seeds so that everything is right up against the wall there. Everything is right in the world. The pastry shell edge is all the way up to the top of the pie dish. So I'm glad I did that, but now I've just wasted the entire day. So we need to turn it up a notch. We're going into overtime. Well, I gotta do the fillings for these quiches, and it's getting late. Let's get to work. I'm gonna do both these quiches kind of at the same time. We're gonna start with the Quiche Lorraine. This classic Quiche Lorraine contains cream, eggs, and bacon, no cheese. Cut bacon into pieces about 1 inch long and 1/4 inch wide. Frying pan with just a little bit of water in there. Bring that to a simmer. Add in the bacon. 5 minutes. Drain and rinse in cold water. Dry the bacon. Brown the bacon. Take off the heat. Getting smoky in here. Beat the eggs and cream in a mixing bowl. Bowl, please. Thank you. So I think around 300 milliliters of cream ought to do it. 3 eggs. Salt, half a teaspoon. Pinch of pepper. Where's the nutmeg? Oh, pinch of nutmeg. Okay, mix this until it's whatever, whisk it. Check seasoning. And that tastes like nothing. Okay. Add some salt. So in the pastry shell, first I'm gonna add the bacon. I should dry that off first. Dry it first and then add it into, yes, that's better. Press the bacon pieces into the bottom of the pastry shell. There's no way I can do that. It's firmed up, the pastry shell. There's no way you can push this into it. Julia, pour this custard into the pastry shell. It's real now. I hope the bacon sinks. Julia says that this pastry cannot be too full. You need to leave like half an inch. Okay. I'll take some out. 1.5 to 1 ounce butter cut into pea-sized dots. Can't go one recipe without adding butter. 375 degrees Fahrenheit, preheated oven. Add this to the top part of that oven. Like 25-30 minutes. There's like some tray. I'm gonna get this on a tray first. So gentle, man, so gentle. Okay, the quiche Lorraine is in the oven. We're gonna move on to the other quiche. Time is money. Money is time. Quiche Roquefort. Okay. Woo! Nice and moldy. It's like a blue cheese. You can use a blue cheese if you want, but if the quiche is called Quiche Roquefort, I suggest you use the Roquefort. Okay, you got a bowl. Add your Roquefort cheese, 3 ounces. What's 6 ounces in grams?
6 ounces is 170.
6 ounces of cottage cheese. I did the book and it's ounces. Now she says you can use cream cheese, but I opted for the cottage cheese. I don't like the ounces because every time there's ounces I have to convert it into grams. And softened butter, 1 ounce. 3 tablespoons of cream, 1, I'm just gonna mess. 2, 3, fork it. Oh, how much time is left on the other quiche? It's like a quiche souffle. Okay, there's like 2 minutes left on that quiche Lorraine, which is in the oven. Baking away, and I'm trying to make this other one as quick as I can. Smooth operator. 2 eggs, 1, 2. Stir those in. I don't know what the hell is going on with this freaking quiche. It's like expanding to high heaven. Do quiches deflate? So once this quiche has puffed and browned, it totally has, this quiche is done. Okay, let's just get it out of the way. Continue focusing on the task at hand. I need a sieve. I hope it's clean. Found it. You need a bowl. This needs to be passed through a sieve. That's gonna take some work. Oh, here it comes. Pepper. Nope, this is salt. Pepper, mix that in. Hey, spring onions. Spring onions. Chives. How many chives do I need? Half a tablespoon, so like 1,000% less than that. Chopped chives go in here now. With my snowman spatula, I'm gonna pour this into the pastry shell. Damn, does this look good. Get on here. It'll be really nice. Offset spatula just to smooth it out. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference or not, but it's worth a goddamn try. 25 minutes too. Which one should I start with? It's Quiche Lorraine, not Quiche. I was saying Quiche Lorraine. It's Quiche Lorraine. I'm not usually a quiche guy, but consider me, I guess, well, I am now. Quiche Lorraine, or the Quiche Lorraine, is like more recognizable to me. It's got familiar flavors. It's just like egg and bacon, and you know this one. You know it, you love it, super solid, classic. Over here, the Quiche Roquefort. If you like blue cheese, super rich flavors to it, then you're gonna like it. I loved it. I love them both. The pastry is flaky. That was the thing I was nervous about with both of these, but it turned out, if there's a lesson here, it's use a proper pie weight, because it actually makes a huge difference. And you know what? It's happening right after this video. I get to eat dinner and have a second slice of both. So, well, I just do that right now, I guess. This was Jamie and Julia. Bon appetit. I'll see you soon.